There comes a moment in life when your silence becomes too loud and your soul begins to whisper, "No more." Not because you hate others, but because you've grown tired of abandoning yourself for their comfort. You reach a breaking point, not out of anger, but out of sacred exhaustion from carrying burdens that were never yours. Life has tested you, pulled you in all directions, and somewhere along the way, you started losing your own reflection. You tolerated too much, explained yourself too often, and forgot that boundaries are a form of love, not rejection. Every time you said yes when you meant no, a piece of you slowly faded in the name of peacekeeping. But peace that costs your identity is not peace. It is self-betrayal dressed in politeness. The pain you feel now isn't weakness. It's your soul pushing you to reclaim the truth you've buried for too long. Saying no more is not an act of war. It's an act of self-resurrection. The moment you come home to yourself. This awakening doesn't roar, it rises in quiet defiance, like a broken flower refusing to stop blooming. We all carry hidden chains in our hearts, forged from the fires of unmet needs and forgotten pains. But the true power of the human spirit lies in breaking free to embrace unbreakable self-love. Why do we keep repeating the same kind of love that harms us, drawing us into cycles of heartache and disappointment? This question echoes through the depths of Carl Jung's teachings, where he revealed that our shadow self, those repressed parts of our unconscious, drives us to project our deepest wounds onto others, seeking validation where it can never truly exist. In Jung's view, the unconscious is like a vast, hidden reservoir, filled with childhood scars that shape our choices in love, often leading us to partners who mirror our unhealed fears. At the core of this is the archetype of the self, Jung's blueprint for wholeness, guiding us toward individuation, the lifelong journey of integrating our fragmented selves into a unified whole. Yet, projection and the shadow trap us in mediocre love, where relationships become battlegrounds for our unresolved issues rather than sanctuaries of mutual growth. Imagine transforming that pain into purpose. That's the promise we're exploring today. I'm outlining a clear 5-step journey to break free from these patterns, inspired by Jung's wisdom, so you can awaken the profound self-love that comes from saying no more. Step 1. Unearth the root wound, as we'll dive into next, to understand what's been holding you back. Step 2. Recognize the value of your soul, uncovering the unique gifts that make you worthy of true connection. Step 3. Differentiate a soul connection from simple attraction, learning to spot what's real and lasting. Step 4. Cultivate complete self-love, raising your standards to avoid settling for less. Step 5. Dismantle limiting beliefs and embrace boundaries, paving the way for authentic, soul-nourishing relationships. By the end of this journey, you'll see how saying no more isn't just an act of defiance. It's the spark that ignites a deeper, unshakable love for yourself, just as Jung envisioned through individuation. So, let's begin with confronting the hidden wound that's kept you trapped. It's time to shine a light on the shadows. At the heart of our struggles in love lies a core wound, often born from the echoes of childhood, where emotional deprivation or inconsistent affection plants seeds of fear and unworthiness. Jung described this as part of the personal unconscious, a collection of early experiences that shape our relational templates, like invisible scripts we follow without question. For instance, if you grew up with parental neglect, it might manifest as a deep-seated fear of abandonment, drawing you to partners who are emotionally unavailable, perpetuating the cycle. This is the archetype of the wounded child in Jung's framework, a primal force that whispers you're not enough, leading you to seek love in all the wrong places. Through projection, we unconsciously cast our unmet needs onto others, hoping they'll fill the void we can't face ourselves. It's like looking into a distorted mirror, where your shadow aspects, those denied parts of your psyche, appear as flaws in your partner, trapping you in a loop of pain. The consequence is heartbreaking. Repeated heartbreaks, eroding self-esteem, and a stagnation in your path to individuation, as Jung warned against ignoring these shadows. Think of it as an alchemist's lead, heavy and unrefined. Only by confronting this wound can you transmute it into the gold of wisdom and self-understanding. I remember a story of someone who chased after partners who could give nothing, mirroring their own unhealed abandonment issues, until they paused to reflect. Once we grasp this wound, we can move forward to recognizing the special nature of our own soul, the key to shattering these chains. Your soul is far more extraordinary than you might realize, brimming with signs that point to your innate worth, as Jung described through his concept of archetypes. One clear sign is your strong intuition, that inner voice Jung called the guide to your unconscious, often drowned out in the noise of toxic relationships, but essential for self-protection. Then there's your deep empathy, a double-edged sword. It allows you to sense others' hidden shadows, yet without boundaries, it leaves you vulnerable to exploitation. Natural creativity flows from within, expressing Jung's anima or animus, the inner feminine or masculine energies that fuel your personal growth and authenticity. And that inexplicable magnetism you carry, an aura of genuine depth, aligns with Jung's idea of synchronicity, drawing soul connections when you're ready. These traits aren't accidents. They're manifestations of the self archetype, calling you to integrate your shadow and step into wholeness. Recognizing them reminds us that we deserve mature love, not sacrifice or mediocrity, and they serve as beacons on your journey of individuation. By honoring these signs, you're not just surviving, you're thriving, awakening the self-love that follows saying no more to what doesn't serve you. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for spotting what's real in relationships, helping you differentiate a soul connection from mere attraction. In the dance of love, not every spark leads to a lasting flame. Jung teaches us to discern through the lens of individuation, challenging us to seek connections that foster growth. A true soul connection develops you, much like the individuation process, where it confronts your shadows together and supports your evolution into wholeness. It offers emotional stability, a grounded bond that goes beyond impulsive passion, echoing Jung's emphasis on balance between the conscious and unconscious. In such a relationship, your partner acts as a mirror, reflecting both your light and darkness, promoting mutual healing rather than hiding flaws. On the other hand, superficial attraction is often rooted in projection, an intense but fleeting allure that stems from your shadow, idealizing someone to fill your voids. This can lead to crushes that hinder your self-love, reinforcing the wounds we discussed earlier and keeping you stuck in cycles of disappointment. To break free, try this practical exercise. Keep a 3-level emotional journal after every encounter. At level 1, note your surface feelings, like excitement or nervousness. At level 2, delve deeper. Ask if this person reflects your shadow or unmet needs. At level 3, assess soul alignment. Does this push you toward individuation and growth? This journaling acts as Jung's active imagination, a tool to uncover unconscious patterns and guide you toward authentic connections. With this discernment, you're now equipped to attract what truly matters. But first, you must commit to loving yourself completely. Complete self-love isn't just a feel-good phrase. In Jungian terms, it's about accepting your darkness, your shadow, and setting firm boundaries as part of your individuation. When you embrace this fully, you naturally raise the standard of love in your life, drawing partners who honor your self-archetype and respect your wholeness. It filters out mediocre loves, those codependent traps that once seemed inevitable, by empowering you to say no more with conviction. The positive consequences are profound. You reclaim your energy, build unshakable confidence, and open the door to relationships that nurture rather than drain. To practice this, start with a simple mirror work ritual. Stand before a mirror each day, look into your eyes, and affirm, I accept my flaws as part of my wholeness. Add daily affirmations inspired by Jung, like, my soul deserves mutual growth and authentic connection. These rituals aren't magic. They're steps toward integrating your shadow, transforming self-doubt into self-compassion. Many hold onto the belief that love requires sacrifice, but that's a shadow we must release to step into our full power. That limiting belief, that to be loved, you must sacrifice yourself, stems from deep roots, often tied to cultural archetypes Jung identified, like the self-sacrificing mother or the savior figure in the collective unconscious. It originates in upbringing, where we learn to prioritize others' needs over our own, leading to codependency and a loss of personal identity. The consequences are devastating: spiritual depletion, resentment, and a blockage in your individuation, keeping you from the self-love you deserve. Instead, embrace Jung's alternative framework, love as a balanced exchange, where giving and receiving honor your boundaries and the self-archetype. This shift allows you to say no more without guilt, fostering relationships that are equitable and soul-nourishing. Put it into action with a yes/no list. Daily, write down your non-negotiables, like no to emotional unavailability, and enforce them in real life. Practice assertive communication through role-play scripts, confronting your shadow head-on to express your needs clearly and kindly. Healing isn't about loving less. It's about loving right, the right person, the right way, with the right soul, as Jung so wisely taught. By walking this 5-step journey, you're not just surviving. You're awakening to a love that starts within, radiating outward to attract what's truly meant for you. Start your 30-day journal practice today. Reflect daily on these steps, using exercises like the emotional journal or yes/no list to track your growth. Begin practicing boundaries in small ways, like declining a draining invitation, and watch how it builds your confidence. Share your journey with a community, joining forums for collective individuation, and remember, saying no more is your gateway to the self-love Jung envisioned. Take that first step now. Why do we keep repeating the same kind of love that harms us? It's because of the shadow self, as Carl Jung described, the hidden parts of ourselves we repress, projecting unmet needs onto our partners. This cycle traps us in mediocre love, where we seek validation externally instead of within. Today, we'll embark on a 5-step journey inspired by Jung's wisdom, leading to profound self-love after saying no more. Step 1. Unearth the root wound that keeps you trapped. Step 2. Recognize the value of your soul. Step 3. Differentiate true soul connections from simple attractions. Step 4. Cultivate complete self-love to avoid mediocre loves. Step 5. Dismantle limiting beliefs and embrace boundaries. By the end, you'll see how this awakens a deeper sense of worth, attracting authentic relationships. Let's dive into the first step, confronting the hidden wound that's held you back. In Jungian terms, the root of the wound lies in the personal unconscious, shaped by childhood experiences. Emotional deprivation or parental neglect often creates a core wound, like a fear of abandonment. This wound manifests as unworthiness, driving us to seek love in all the wrong places. Jung called this the wounded child archetype, a blueprint of pain that influences our adult relationships. Picture a child ignored in their need for affection. That pain echoes into adulthood as a desperate search for validation. Through projection, we unconsciously place our unmet needs onto partners, hoping they'll fill the void. But these partners often can't give anything, mirroring our own unhealed shadows. The consequence is a cycle of heartbreak where we attract emotionally unavailable people repeatedly. As Jung warned, ignoring the shadow leads to stagnation in our individuation process. Like an alchemist turning lead to gold, we must transmute these wounds into wisdom. Once we understand this wound, we can move to recognizing the special nature of our own soul. Signs that your soul is special emerge from Jung's archetypes, particularly the self, which guides us toward wholeness. First, strong intuition acts as your inner voice, a Jungian compass often silenced in toxic relationships. This intuition whispers truths about what you truly deserve, pushing you toward self-discovery. Deep empathy is another sign, allowing you to sense others' shadows, but it risks exploitation without boundaries. Your soul's empathy connects you to the collective unconscious, fostering genuine compassion. Natural creativity flows from the anima or animus, Jung's concept of inner feminine or masculine energy. This creativity fuels personal growth, expressing the unique essence of your soul. Inexplicable magnetism draws people to you, a sign of synchronicity in Jung's view. These traits remind you that you deserve mature love, not sacrifice or mediocrity. Embracing them integrates your shadow, awakening self-love after saying, "No more." Knowing your soul's depth is the foundation for spotting what's real versus what's fleeting. Now, in step 3, let's differentiate a soul connection from simple attraction using Jungian discernment. A true soul connection challenges and supports your growth, mirroring the individuation process. It involves confronting shadows together, fostering mutual healing and wholeness. Emotional stability defines it, a grounded bond rather than impulsive passion. As Jung emphasized, balance is key to avoiding projections that cloud our judgment. Honest reflection makes a soul connection act as a mirror, revealing both your light and shadow. In contrast, superficial attraction stems from projections, idealizing someone to fill internal voids. This often leads to intense but short-lived crushes, reinforcing the wound from our past. Jung warned that such attractions hinder self-love, trapping us in cycles of disappointment. To discern wisely, try a 3-level emotional journal after meeting someone new. Level 1. Note surface feelings, like excitement or butterflies. Level 2. Analyze deeper. Does this person reflect your shadow or unmet needs? Level 3. Assess soul alignment. Does this push you toward individuation and growth? This journaling practice is like Jung's active imagination uncovering unconscious patterns. With this discernment, you're ready to attract soul connections, but first, cultivate complete self-love. In step 4, complete self-love means accepting your darkness, as Jung taught through shadow integration. It's about respecting your needs and setting boundaries as part of your individuation journey. When you love yourself completely, you raise the standard of love you accept. This naturally filters out mediocre relationships, ending cycles of projection and codependency. Imagine attracting partners who honor your self-archetype, valuing your wholeness. To practice, start with a mirror work ritual. Look in the mirror and affirm, "I accept my flaws as part of my wholeness." Daily affirmations like "My soul deserves mutual growth" reinforce this self-love. These rituals transform your inner world, making "no more" a powerful declaration. Many hold onto the belief that love requires sacrifice, but that's a shadow we must release. Moving to step 5, let's break the belief that, to be loved, you must sacrifice yourself. This belief originates from upbringing and cultural archetypes, like the self-sacrificing mother in Jung's collective unconscious. It leads to codependency, where we lose our identity in the process. The consequences include spiritual depletion and blocked individuation, keeping us from true self-love. Instead, embrace Jung's alternative. Love as a ballast exchange that honors the self and maintains boundaries. This new framework allows giving and receiving without losing yourself. For actionable tools, create a yes/no list of non-negotiables, like no to emotional unavailability. Use assertive communication to say no more without guilt, integrating your shadow along the way. Role-play scenarios where you set boundaries firmly yet kindly. This dismantles the old belief, paving the way for soul-nourishing love. Healing is not about loving less, but about loving right, the right person, the right way, with the right soul.